Hello everyone, we're waiting for our Bughouse World Championship match to start. Should start in momentarily. I'm not sure what the holdup is. Oh, I guess maybe I could check. Oh, they're saying ready. So it should start any second now. This is an under 2000 match. Emiliochess and xberli versus thejersh and alexsuuuu. And emiliochess is a national master. Thejersh and alexsuuuu are friends with Mikey-san206, who's a streamer, and I think is streaming this match. xberli is a FIDE master. In fact, I might update my stream title to include their titles. If anyone wants to join me in the commentary booth, open to that. Okay, I'm going to advertise a stream on a few Discords. This is the last match in the round of 32 in the under 2000 section. All right, so let's see what's going on. The pawn being attacked. I think pawn push was a little better here. Queen is kind of out of the action. Oh, now this rook is launched, so that's good for him. He has two pieces to get in. I would even push the pawn to tempo this bishop, get it out of there. Don't like this. I think it kind of wastes a piece. If he had some pawns, pawn at e3 could have been an idea. Bishop check, bishop takes knight. Be good. I guess this comes with check though. Maybe it's not as good as I thought. Okay, yeah, this is reasonable. Now knight takes knight. Oh, or you can take the queen. That works too. I think it was better to take a fruit piece than to trade a piece for a queen there. Trying to tempo this knight out of here. Lost the pawn in the process. Oh, okay, he hasn't taken that yet. So alexsuuuu is up some time on emiliochess. Looks like about 8 seconds or so. And I think alexsuuuu and thejersh have more Bughouse experience. xberli and emiliochess seem to be titled players who are relatively new to the game. I like this knight move. Hitting two different things. It could either take this or could wait for like a pawn or bishop. Okay, he's just gonna take it. That's fine. Now, a few things mate. So actually, he could let him run up there, work over. I like the sequence. That was well done by xberli. You could take this, hope for a knight to check. There is a knight available. I think he can do rook takes rook while he waits. This knight should be the target for emiliochess. Knight is crushing here. Oh, I don't like that pawn check. I would have tried to promote a pawn instead. I think they're just going for flag battle at this point. All these pawns that are put on the board really should have been put on the 7th rank so they can immediately promote. emiliochess unfortunately wasn't moving like he should have been. I think he was too worried about giving the queen. He should have been trying to flag the jersh. So first blood has been drawn, and alexsuuuu's team is up 1-0. Fortunately, emiliochess' team is caught in the random pool, but I think they'll rematch their opponent soon. The score is 1-0. The fact that it took so long for this match to start, I think the players couldn't figure out how to match each other. Okay, now we're back in business. alexsuuuu giving up the knight to get, in theory, the better pawn structure. I hate this idea. Basically down a piece on both boards. Pawn could win a piece back. Creating a bishop battery. Okay, now xberli winning a bunch of things. This knight can just move. Okay, xberli shedding some material for some king safety. Some dark square weaknesses that the jersh can exploit on the other board. Oh, this seems like a wasted move. The jersh does not have very many pieces to work with. This seems like a reasonable idea. But because alexsuuuu has shed some pieces, oh, and now the jersh is shedding some pieces. xberli is up time. And really the jersh and alexsuuuu are down so many pieces, it's going to be awfully hard for them to win this. Knight check could be a way to win some more pieces. Pushing the c-pawn could have been a way to defend. Now xberli is going to have to go for a run. Oh, just going to win the queen. I guess he would like another knight. Or, oh, he might just shed the knight, drop the bishop, move this bishop up. Not so sure about this move. I would just take this. And emiliochess doesn't have to move. emiliochess can stall and should stall before anything like a knight or any non-diagonal piece comes. I would just move straight down and have your partner avoid a knight, avoid a rook. xberli needs to move though. He's now up 10 seconds. He should tell his partner not to give this knight. So that's a reasonable move. That's a free bishop. Still doesn't give the knight. Can also drop a rook at some point for check. Or you could drop a knight here. emiliochess can keep moving as long as he stalls right before he gives a knight. alexsuuuu is going for a little bit of safety. The thejersh is really out of pieces. Emiliochess has won an enormous amount of material. Hey, Chess Doofus, how are you doing? I don't like xberli sacking at this point. He really needs to put this material on the board and get the king safe. Sacking is just a really weird thing to do. I don't know why xberli isn't moving. Oh, that looks pretty good. He can get away with this if he does it quickly. Also play queen down. xberli should be moving. Sitting is the worst thing he can do at this point. His partner is safe. Take this pawn. King goes here. Should put a rook in. Okay. Actually, yeah, you do this check. Throw a rook in. I don't like that move. That's terrible. Rook in. Bishop check. And stall. Oh, unfortunately, has been given a knight. Yeah, it's kind of falling apart here. You could take the rook, take here. I don't like this move. Does nothing. You could take the rook, then check. And xberli has just flagged. Hey, Planet Chess Club, thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it. Give you a shout out. Hope your stream went well. So for the people coming from the raid, this is Bughouse, which is a chess variant played by 4 players in teams of 2. You see it a lot in when you go to any chess tournament or chess club. There's a lot of people playing Bughouse. It's a ton of fun. We are watching a match in the Bughouse World Championship in the under 2000 section. This is the round of 32. So winner of this match will proceed to the round of 16. And our current score is 2-0, favoring alexsuuuu and the thejersh. And what we've seen is xberli and emiliochess, I think in both games, won a lot of material, had the superior position, but ran out of time. So have not been good at managing their clocks. alexsuuuu and the thejersh seem to like sacking material or just hanging material, but somehow they're making it work, which I think is a testament to more Bughouse experience on their part. Let me see. In the meantime, let's. So how was your stream, Planet Chess Club? Hope it went well. Assume you're streaming the chess. Everyone should follow Planet Chess Club. I've played Bughouse with Planet Chess Club both many years at the World Open in the Skittles room, and also at the 2019 TwitchCon. So it was fun hanging out with him both places. Gifted you a sub to thank you for the raid there. So emiliochess is on the attack and has an enormous piece advantage. But what I don't like is emiliochess is ending the game with a lot of pieces in hand. And you really want to get these pieces on the board. They're useless when they're in your hand. He's threatening mate in 1. Sorry, mate in 2 with queen check. Queen at e2, queen takes. All he has to do is not be in check. And xberli should never be moving again. I don't know why xberli is moving. But what he needs to do is stop moving so emiliochess can get safe. Oh, if it's emiliochess chess's move and he's not in check, he has checkmate. Queen at. So you're going to see queen at. He found it. Alright, so that's mate in 1. Hey, who got Exalt? Thanks for watching. And xberli is, or xberli I should say, is up around 20 seconds. Now even more because they're double sit-in. So he doesn't have to move anymore. So this game is over. It's going to be 2-1, still favoring alexsuuuu in the thejersh. I'm not sure why alexsuuuu and the thejersh have not moved or resigned yet. They may be talking strategy for their next game. And the strategy they should be talking about is to stop losing so many pieces. It's pretty disrespectful to wait like this when like a clear mate. Okay, finally they resign. Don't know what that was about. Hopefully we'll get a rematch here. So in this portion of the tournament, it is first to 11 with a win by 2 condition. And check this message real quick. Oh, are they not online? Weird, I don't see the online things anymore, but maybe that was a change in the interface. Okay, oh, now I see the bars. Maybe it's not up after the game is over. Anyway, our score is now 2-1. There are reasonable openings all around. That hangs a pawn now. Get this bishop out at some point. Maybe push a pawn. It's under attack. A little bit hard to defend. You could trade these. You could trade these and plan something later. Bishop check could be reasonable. Oh, or he's going in. Going into the dark squares. Doesn't care about this pawn. You could go rook over. Could prepare some luff for your king. You could just come in here first. Taking a knight. Threatening this pawn. New bishop in is a good. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I guess it's because he's threatening this pawn too. That makes sense. Now it's harder to defend this rook though. You would like to have a bishop available for that. So alexsuuuu might be hoping to get a bishop. He's not going to get. Knight check is now good. Probably forces a queen sack. Gotta watch out for knight check now too. Retreating the queen. I think he should have possibly considered a queen sack. But I guess the queen wasn't good for his partner. So might have been a good idea to, oh, especially kickback is really bad there. Now with a bishop check, a rook will mate. Bishop check is good anyway, because bishop check, you can take this pawn. Oh, he wooded the pawn instead. I don't know why he wooded the pawn instead of the bishop. Bishop was better there. The thejersh is down time. Not entirely sure what he's waiting for. I mean, I suppose he wants a rook, but he's never going to get a rook. Oh, actually, I would have taken this first and then dropped the rook. Because now knight takes is an option. A good option at that. Now you can drop a pawn or a bishop. I guess even if he takes, knight check will pick up the queen. This isn't as bad as I thought. Check first. Okay. Well, you can always check later, I guess. Do win a check. You can save this knight and defend at the same time. Another way to defend. I'd be worried about this move, although he does have a little bit of luft. Not much luft. The Jersh should be trying to mate. And oh, the Jersh has mate. So alexsuuuu just needs to survive. He doesn't need to survive very long either. He is now up time. Up about 2 seconds. He doesn't need to move anymore. Knight takes, then bishop takes, I guess. Alright. So our score is now 3-1, favoring the title players from Mexico. A lot of gambling going on in the chat. Gambling is very rigged. Yeah, I'm trying to teach you guys all a lesson, which is not to gamble with real money. And by the way, a form of gambling which is not rigged is you guys can just duel each other. If you duel each other, then like you're not playing against the house, you're playing against each other, and the house doesn't take a cut. If you duel each other for 1,000 points, say, then one of you will win 1,000, one will lose 1,000. There's going to be no points lost in the transaction. So xberli trying to offer a queen trade. Doing that with a bit of initiative. We could see a pawn check. But alexsuuuu doesn't have a knight or a rook for some follow-up. Like a rook could win the knight. Knight could continue his attack. Without either of those things, he's in a bit of trouble. alexsuuuu is down time. Gonna have to find a move on the board. Maybe bishop here was a little better. There were 2 threats to guard against. He's guarded neither one. Perhaps he plans to castle and then go king over after knight takes. Okay, I guess he's just gonna go king up. But he's definitely in trouble. I don't like that move. Now knight check is fairly good. Trying to get rid of this knight. Oh, I would take that for sure. Now pawn is oh, xberli should have waited for a pawn there, but still doing reasonably good. Can't move this knight back yet. He can take the rook though. The jersh, I suppose, would like a pawn. Put more pressure on. Could take the bishop while he waits. But I guess he doesn't want to give more material to xberli. He's down 15 seconds though, so he needs to find something to do. And by the way, emiliochess has 1,000,000 pieces in hand. So this game is easily gonna be won by the title players from Mexico. Not even a contest. And this just comes down to the title players from Mexico winning pieces along the way and using their pieces more effectively. So trying to force a queen trade. And sack for this knight. Probably the best thing to do. Very nice maiden idea. Just needed the one knight and push the pawn. And I'm sure xberli was calculating that while he was stalling. PhD in economics. I'm attorney. I didn't study both at the same time. I studied them at different times. But yeah, I do have degrees in both. Okay, the Jersh missing some free material. And emiliochess has a lot of good development here. Whereas this bishop seems not to be doing anything useful. Pawn is hit. He defends. I like emiliochess's position a lot here. xberli, I like his position as well. Good development. Get this rook active. At some point when I get the bishop active. Gotta take that. At some point, dropping a bishop on g3 will be good for emiliochess. What is this about? He could take, then rook over. Not sure what emiliochess is waiting for. Just getting his knight out. I still think you gotta throw a bishop in here. There's a threat here. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes, knight check. So yeah, this was a reasonable defense. Oh, what happened over here? Oh, okay. He didn't take the knight, instead he's attacking. But that means he gets to save the knight. Probably over here where it provides some king defense. You could also drop a bishop at h5. He's just moving his rook. I don't like that as much. Maybe it'll work out though. And we see, because alexsuuuu is not recapturing pieces that capture, that's one of the reasons his team is down so much material. And it's hard to win when you're down this much material. Get that knight out and save the knight a bunch of different ways. He's saving it. What round? This is the round of 32. Can I give you advice so you can be successful in your professional life? Not really. I mean, I guess it depends on your profession a little bit, but I don't know. I don't have great advice, great general advice. And xberli has found a mate. So our score right now is, I believe, 4-2. Oh, I'm sorry. Our score is 3-3. It is the round of 32. Yeah. Our score is 3 all at this point. I'm not sure, how did we get to 3 all? I thought that emiliochess and xberli were ahead, but I guess I must have misunderstood. Oh, tempo and the queen. Now our rook mates. But emiliochess is nowhere near getting a rook. I don't know why emiliochess is stalling. Maybe he wants to save this pawn somehow. Okay, he could push the pawn. Knight can't retreat or queen can take. I like h3, wins material. This knight can be saved. You can drop new bishop in, somewhere like here. He finds it. Now, even if the queen is tempoed, you can play queen takes. 2 pieces for a queen isn't bad. I would just take the knight and take back. Could also retreat, but not as good. And he's taking it. Now there's a hole on g7 that can be exploited. Also, rook takes pawn. This king is in some trouble, though. Gotta go quickly here. A pawn is crushing. Go. Why is xberli waiting? Okay, well, now xberli is dead because he's waiting too long. The thejersh just needs to take 1 pawn. Rook is fine now, so can move up here. New knight in, probably best. Unfortunately, this pawn is going to be maiden. I think the best chance... Okay, yeah, throwing a check, that's reasonable. Yeah, I can't even take this really. I would put a pawn on h7. Best chance. Because then if you take one of these pawns, you have rook takes, then pawn takes, and it's mate. Don't like that. It's just checkmate. Bishop check, king down, queen in. That's a win for the thejersh and alexsuuuu. My score right now is 4-3, favoring alexsuuuu and the thejersh. Why are people not taking free knights? I don't get it. I guess he doesn't want to open this rook file, but I mean, it's a free knight. Oh, I don't like that. There's a hole right here. Pawn in, automatic move. And the thejersh doesn't care about free rooks with promotion. A lot of these moves baffle me. So at some point you want to relieve this pin. Maybe throw a bishop in. Because if the pin is relieved, then you can do something like this. I like bishop in. The thejersh probably wishes he hadn't wasted his pawns before. So he could drop a pawn here, which is a natural move. This is a really bad place to put a bishop. I can throw a pawn in here again. This works also. You can just take this bishop. That's a free bishop. Okay, I think he wants to take this so that he can knight check win the queen. Their downtime. Don't necessarily like that move, but I guess it's worked out. Grab this bishop. This bishop is a thorn in your side. Take that. King has a little more luft. Knight takes is possible now. Can take with the other bishop. It's tough because they're down a bunch of time and the thejersh wants some pieces. Can you get the pieces? We see, again, emiliochess has a million pieces in hand. that he's never going to get an opportunity to put on the board. That's a free rook. We take those. This is a horrible move. I understand he wants to attack, but we like free rooks. xberli waiting so long every move is not gonna make him any closer to get an uptime. He's just gonna get more and more down on time. emiliochess needs to get pieces on the board. That is the goal. He also wants to get an attack. This is not fast enough. Gonna take this pawn, tempo the queen, and just consolidate this. So rook check is the threat. Right now these rooks are fairly secure, but alexsuuuu, if he were to actually make moves, then he has time to try to get a rook. King is running. That's a nonsense move. I would take this knight. Seems like a free knight to me. I guess he's worried about losing the queen. emiliochess ever gets a rook, he can tempo a lot of things. Now he's got to watch out for the knight checkmate. So he's got to guard this. Knight here is a good move anyway. It prevents the king from coming out as well. Don't know what emiliochess is waiting for. Oh, that's the queen. Free queen. Oh, he's going for the king instead. Pawn check, queen in. Oh, this works as well. Queen takes. Mate for xberli. That was a tough position, so that was a good job converting that from xberli. But again, the big problem is emiliochess and xberli both always end the game with a million pieces in hand. Yeah, this is going to be a nail biter for sure. The score is 4-4, 4-all. Dinosaur remote. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of time. It takes them a while to play an obvious move. This game, a lot of the moves that I'm suggesting, they're eventually finding though. Not finding immediately, but finding eventually. So pawn is good. He does have the rook file here. He could always retreat this bishop, but making progress is fine too. Oh, let's take that. That's a free pawn. We take those. You can take that. Take that. This would be discovered check. This bishop can move with discovered check. I guess we take this, threaten this. Knight here could be good. I haven't looked at the other board much. This king is a little struggling, safe enough. Does have this. Oh, that's a free knight. We take those. I still like knight here. You could even take this pawn, threaten the queen. Could take the knight. A lot of possibilities. alexsuuuu probably wants a blocker at some point. This is check. Discovered check. Yeah, I think this is the better discovered check. Bring your rook in. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so I think I like knight check. Knight check followed by bishop takes knight. You could take the knight first. Now I like knight check. It just wins. Pawn check, knight check. Yeah, I guess it was probably better to take the knight first. They did it the right way. So our score is now 5-4. Favoring xberli and emiliochess. Definitely a very even matchup. These guys are all in the 1700s. And they have different styles, but they match up in an interesting way. For some, he's never going to take this knight. Or, well, I guess sometimes he takes it, sometimes he doesn't. But I would take that automatically, instantly, every time. Knight takes. And get this knight active. Or you could hang a pawn. That's another option, I guess. Not the one I would have chosen. Alexsuuuu now has the best of this position. He can get rid of his hanging knight at some point too. Threaten into sack. Get the king out there. Could just trade this. Or could bring the knight back. Oh, that's not a thing. That just wins a piece. Throw a bishop in, ignore this knight. Win the queen. Okay, he's just taking this instead. I wouldn't have taken this knight. That knight was a friendly piece. Wasn't hurting anyone. Actually good for defense. I like pawn in. Let's tempo the rook. Okay, he's gonna go over king safety first. This is reasonable. He has a knight now. Maybe tempo the queen. You could drop a pawn in here. Move queen out. A lot of options. It's a lot easier to have options when you're up a bunch of pieces. This is what's happening right here. Not really a fan of this. This gives him the rook file. If alexsuuuu had a few trades, then he could have something going here. Oh, I would have taken with rook instead. But I guess they still work. Maybe knight check. Pawn check. You could promote. I would drop a bishop check first. Not so much a fan of that one. But I guess the idea is to now drop something on a6. You wouldn't do things with initiative. Or you could give up your queen. Another option. Knight, that's mate. Okay. Yeah, I think instead of immediately taking the queen, I think he should have tried to start attacking. Like, rook takes g2. King takes, knight check. Eventually probably could have taken the queen in check if the king ever went on a dark square. Next, the follow from Poya Vazy99. Really appreciate it. So our score is now 6-4, favoring emiliochess and xberli. That's a free pawn. Why are we not taking free pawns? I think we've seen several games where the thejersh has not taken that free pawn. very odd. That's a free piece. We take those. That's a free pawn. We take those. Why didn't we take the free bishop? What was the reason for that? I don't really understand. This is a national master who doesn't see free bishops. This was, no, that wasn't a free pawn because bishops went backwards. Now there's real danger of checkmate. xberli needs to guard the checkmate. It's going to be difficult to do. Maybe push the pawn. The thejersh is trading for his partner. Partner's in a good position here. I would just take this. Well, I guess take with this bishop, actually. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I like this. So he wants to prevent the queen from taking here. Get another thing on the board. Very reasonable. Maybe push this pawn. Rooks move backwards. Rooks still mates for alexsuuuu. That's a free piece. The FIDE master noticed the free piece. You could drop a pawn to win a piece. Or could start attacking something on this light square. He's fine as long as his partner doesn't give a rook. Okay. So knight for queen trade. A bishop, by the way, would win the queen. He's going to try to take this bishop. If he takes the bishop, then his partner can get a queen and the queen can go here. alexsuuuu is up about 3 seconds. And now he has a queen in hand, so that's mate. That's good coordination between alexsuuuu and the thejersh. So our score should be 6-5. Still favoring the titled players from Mexico. I'm not sure why they're waiting so long between games. Let's get into the next game. By the way, I am open to someone doing co-commentary with me. If anyone wants to do that, you can jump in the Discord server. And here we go. Why doesn't he ever take a free pawn? So weird. And why doesn't he ever take a free knight? That's also weird. And it feels like these guys don't know how to play chess. Pawn in. Oh, okay, he's gonna cover up a little bit. You could consider a move like e6. e6 is good here. especially if he can get another pawn. Actually, if he can't get a pawn, maybe it's not worth doing. And he is down time. Looks like just the Jersh is also waiting for pieces. Like a bishop is good. Even pawns are good. The Jersh could check while he waits. He could develop. Like the Jersh has a lot of good moves. But maybe he's sitting so his partner will be safe. Nope, he was just sitting for a pawn. Knight g6, interesting, the tempo of the rook, threatened promotion. I feel like the Jersh is not going to try to win pieces though, he just wants to attack. I don't know why xberli is waiting. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity of knight takes pawn. And when he didn't take that knight, of course he saved the bishop and saved the bishop again. Oh, it was up. Up looks a little scary. Maybe it's okay. I guess there's no immediate threats. Maybe up was the right way. Threat from emiliochess. Eventually the Jersh is going to need to address. I guess he would like to get a bishop to attack and defend. Queen trade on offer. Declined. Maybe knight check. Maybe he just wants to guard this pawn now. Oh, this king is getting safe. Emiliochess is consolidating. I get. Oh, does that work? That does work because of queen takes. And he finds it. Queen takes queen. This game is over real quick. I think queen check. Maybe just pawn check. Yeah, that's reasonable. Take it. Actually, queen check first, then take it. That's very accurate. That's mate. Very nice attack by xberli. DKR, maybe they're following crazy ass theory. Very possible, but bad theory. His rook move is a little weird, but it's a trade in this anyway. Gets the rook file. Especially since the rook was over here. This was a really bad trade for alexsuuuu. Although it seems to have... Yeah. Hasn't worked out that bad since the rooks are traded. I'm trying to hit this pawn. Knight check. Another knight would be good. You could just drop a bishop here, I guess. Prevents the king from running. Threatens bishop takes pawn. Queen check might be a problem. Since you don't have any blockers, I guess you could play queen back. He's going for defense. Maybe knight here, threatening to hop the knight in. So if these trade, then a knight would be even more powerful since the queen hits this pawn. Not sure why they're not moving. I guess trying to hit this knight. He's defending it. Oh, that's an interesting move because you can't take back. You could just defend with bishop in. That defends, but only temporarily. You can push. Also put another pawn in. Okay. Oh. That's a free pawn. Why are we not taking that immediately? Take this one. Knight takes if queen comes in. Maybe he doesn't want to trade the queens though. I don't think he has to trade the queens anyway. Queen in, knight check. And by the way, if the king ever moves here, knight check, rook takes is the thing. I still like queen takes pawn. I don't see a problem with it. This is looking extremely good. So we could threaten this. Okay, he's just gonna use the knight again. Could take this, could take this. Probably taking this is best, and he can drop some pawns in. Oh, okay. That's nice. Get the rook file out of the way. Another knight would be good. Oh, he has a knight. I think you gotta take, hope for the best. This knight is very good for him. Gotta sack the queen. New knight in. Time to check every move. New knight in is mate. Probably also mates. New knight in is still mate. New knight in is still mate. Okay, he found it. And our score, I believe, is 8-5. Favoring the title players from Mexico. It is first to 11 with a win by 2 condition to progress from this round of 32 to the round of 16. Single elimination. Don't know why they pause so much between games. So alexsuuuu and the thejersh are friends of Mikey San 206, who I believe is also streaming this series. Might even be in a voice chat with them where you can hear them. I'm not sure. But let me shout him out. We'll probably raid him after the stream. We'll see what's up when the match is over. Xberli needs to defend the knight somehow. One way of doing it. emiliochess doing a good job developing. Oh, I don't like this bishop move because it prevents the pawn from pushing, which prevents this bishop from developing. So not a fan of that one. Maybe just drop a pawn. The idea to tempo this bishop, and if the bishop trades, you want it to trade. So that's not a problem. This is a really weird move. If you take that, this falls, it just hangs a pawn pretty much. Maybe he wants to get like a bishop, but xberli seem to just give a pawn for nothing. I don't know why xberli has taken so long for his moves. A lot of logical moves. Pawn here still good. We take the pawn. That at least relieves pressure on the knight. Drop another pawn in. But like the worst thing you can do is not move. But because he's spending so long for each of his moves, that means that alexsuuuu is getting up a massive amount of time. Up 10 seconds already, which means alexsuuuu can wait for the perfect piece. Let's take this a bunch of times. Get that pawn out of there. He takes. I'll drop a pawn in, I guess. Don't like this move. Got to get more pieces on the board. He has a lot of pieces to drop. He's going to end the game with all those pieces in his hand. I mean, I guess he was threatening the knight. I would drop a pawn in still. He's trying to tempo the queen, but he's not getting pieces on the board. That's a problem. In the meantime, alexsuuuu is getting closer and closer to that king with every move. Rook check. Maybe not rook check because of this. Knight is very good. New knight would be great for him. Trying to tempo the rook. I think I wouldn't worry about this rook. You got to get more pieces on the board. This is an interesting move, tempoing the queen. If I were alexsuuuu, I would sack the queen for sure. I would consider taking this bishop. Queen takes bishop. The reason is the bishop guards here. Once the bishop's out, you could stick a rook in or a pawn in, something like that. Queen takes bishop is reasonable. That is not a good move. Oh wow, he doesn't even want the queen. I would want that queen. Meantime, emiliochess has mate. Rook in, rook takes, take. And maybe I wasn't aware of what was going on the other board at the time. So maybe he didn't sack a queen because the queen would have mated his partner. I got a little bit laser focused on the right board here. But yeah, again, we see xberli has ended the game with a whole extra set in his hand. That means he has not been placing pieces on the board fast enough. He ended up winning the game because his partner won, but his king is in big trouble. So our score right now is 9-5, favoring the title players from Mexico. Oh, I see we got an embed from chess.com. So for the people who are watching on chess.com, this is Bughouse, which is a chess variant played by 4 players in teams of 2 on 2 chessboards. Whenever you capture a piece, you hand it to your partner, who is the opposite color from you, and you can make a normal chess move or take any of the pieces in reserve that your partner has passed you, place one on any empty square as a move. checkmate or flag on either board ends the game. You can play here on chess.com. We are, tonight I am observing rather than playing. Observing and commentating part of the Bughouse World Championships. There's an open section and an under 2000 section. We are watching a match in the under 2000 section, which is first to 11 games with a win by 2 condition. And our current score is 9-5, favoring xberli and emiliochess, titled player team from Mexico. Thanks for the follow from Salt King 2434. Really appreciate it. Oh, Knightmates. If I were xberli, I would have waited a little more for that knight because I don't think they notice. But then again, I don't think xberli noticed as well. So there was a smothered knightmate before. Probably just pawn in. Maybe bishop here is another option. I don't... Like, did he just hang a knight for a move? That was awfully weird. You can take this, then take this. That's a free knight. Why do we hate free knights? Can someone explain why this knight isn't being taken? I don't get it. In the meantime, alexsuuuu getting in on the light squares. Maybe, yeah, I like this bishop drop. And I would take the knight. If pawn takes, you have knight check. I don't know what he's waiting for. He is down time. He's not going to get anything more than these knights. But the knight check is reasonable, even so. Okay, that's a reasonable move as well. Just king over. Now you could drop a knight in. Okay, this is a good move. So you're double attacking f2. Knight takes. Oh, you could just take the queen too. He's just going to take the queen. On a pawn, attacking the rook. This is a vulnerable king though. You could play queen out eventually. Bishop check, I guess. I'm going to keep tempo in. So you could directly check, but you can also just win a pawn in the process. Okay, he's just playing knight out. Threaten bishop in. With it. I still like bishop back here. Okay, we take this. The thejersh has mate with a rook. Rook check, knight in. He didn't wait for it. Again, I would drop a bishop check. She does. Take that. Now you can bring this out. You have checks. Okay, pawn check wins. One pawn mates. Pawn check, knight check. Don't like this move. I mean, maybe I do like the move. Now you're threatening a different mate. So it was a reasonable move if you couldn't get the pawn. But he has got the bishop. All right, we take that. Go here, it's mate. Nice mate by xberli. Is Castling bad in Bughouse? No, but it'll be different depending on your rating. So when players start out, they think it's like normal chess, and they try to castle as soon as they can. Oh, I don't like this move, by the way. It's crazy weakness on c2. And then they discover that when you castle, your king gets attacked a lot. The castle king gets attacked, and they think it's really bad to castle because they don't know how to defend their castle king. So when you get to the range of like, I don't know, maybe 1300 to 1700, a lot of players are afraid to castle because they think castling's bad. By the way, pawn at e6, very good. This should be the move. And then later you realize how to defend your castle king, and you realize castling's not bad at all. It's a good move. So people start to castle again after about 1700. This wasn't really the threat. I think you should try to attack this queen somehow. Oh, that's interesting. You can't move the knight. Oh, that's mate. Title players see mate and one, right? You're gonna see checkmate. What are we waiting for? Checkmate. We found it. Okay. Oh, and that is 11-5. So that's match. GG's. Final score 11-5. Favoring. Let me find them above. Favoring emiliochess and xberli. So alexsuuuu and the thejersh have been eliminated, but they put on a good show here. This match definitely could have gone the other way. The title players just got the better of them in the end. And honestly, I think the match, the main takeaway I took from this match is the title players won more pieces. So they just grinded away and won pieces along the way. alexsuuuu and the thejersh eventually would run out of pieces and have problems. So yeah, the alexsuuuu and the thejersh were generally up time though, up on the clock, but they need to learn to hang less pieces and to take more pieces. Emotional journey for a second half, yeah. Okay, let's look at the calendar real quick, but I don't think there's any matches in the near future. I don't think there's any more matches on Monday. I don't see any matches scheduled for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. Generally, people schedule most of their matches the weekend. The one match we haven't seen is Zizon and Grand Delicious. And if that's not played tonight, they may forfeit, unfortunately. I really hope that they're going to be able to play on Tuesday. But I think their arbiter may not give them special treatment like that. That Grand Delicious is a Grandmaster Niels Grandelius, and he has a lot of obligations from chess tournaments, so he didn't have availability this weekend, I think, which is unfortunate. But I hope they get to play. If they get to play, I hope I can cover it. But if not, unfortunately, they'll probably be eliminated. Okay, we should find someone to raid. Let me check the chess category, but well, actually, I think we have a lot of viewers now. Well, all right, maybe not an enormous amount. We have 400 viewers. For a second, I thought that said 4,000. But yeah, 400 is a bunch of viewers, but not a ton of viewers. Oh, actually, it looks like King's Bishop is streaming. I don't normally get a chance to raid King's Bishop because normally I stream after him. But it would be nice to send some viewers to King's Bishop because he raids me quite frequently. So I think we're going to raid King's Bishop instead. We have raided Mikey-san in the past. Mikey-san is streaming now. I'll give Mikey-san another shout out, but we're going to send the raid to King's Bishop. So Mikey-san is streaming Bughouse right now. The thejersh and alexsuuuu were friends of Mikey-san, so he probably is doing post-game interviews with them. So you can check that out if you want to. I'm going to send you guys off to King's Bishop. King's Bishop. Well, first of all, if you haven't followed me yet, I'd appreciate a follow so you get notified of my future streams. I stream mostly Bughouse, but we also do some 4-player chess, which I'll be doing tomorrow night, Puzzle Rush, Puzzle Battle, and some other variants. Thank you so much for the follow from Pugil Exalt. Really appreciate it. Anyway, King's Bishop streams chess. He is a chess coach. So he takes on students and can help you improve your chess, especially up to like the 1700 level. He helps beginners especially, and he plays viewers on his stream. I helped him a lot with his layout, and you'll see his stream looks really sharp. Speaking of layouts, if 4-player chess is still out there, I am available tonight if you want help with your layout. So hit me up, 4-player chess, because I am available over the next few days. Anyway, King's Bishop is, I think he's like a reverend, very religious. He does a great job explaining his moves and finding good moves. Chess coach, super nice guy. So be sure to drop him a follow. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.